Hello, it's Willie from the Ozarks and ready for our October 20th lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. Lesson 293. All fear is past, only love is here. All fear is past, only love is here. All fear is past because its source is gone and all its thoughts gone with it. Love remains the only present state, whose source is here forever and forever. Can the world seem bright and clear and safe and welcoming when, with all my past mistakes oppressing it and showing me distorted forms of pain? Let's read that again. Can the world seem bright and clear and safe and welcoming with all my past mistakes oppressing it and showing me distorted forms of pain? Yet in the present, love is obvious and its effects apparent. All the world shines in reflection of its holy light, and I perceive a world forgiven at last. Father, let not your holy world escape my sight today, nor let my ears be deaf to all the hymns of gratitude the world is singing underneath the sounds of fear. There is a real world which the present holds safe from all past mistakes, and I would see only this world before my eyes today. I would see only this world before my eyes today. All fear is past, and only love is here. Okay, let's go take a look at our text reading today, which we're ready for paragraph 96. I think we'll start in paragraph 95 of chapter 7, and it's the consistency of the kingdom. We're on section 10, the extension of the kingdom. And while you're turning there, let me tell you a minute about where I'm sitting. I'm sitting underneath a magnolia tree, and I've already spoken to you about magnolias, but I've got some. I wanted to show you what the berries look like. You all have seen the little pods they grow. Well, in the fall, they make these little red berries. And those red berries are actually, according to ScienceDirect.com, are a well-known anti-inflammatory. And the particular chemical is sesquiterpene lactones. Sesquiterpene lactone. And they evidently are a well-known anti-inflammatory. So Magnolia grandifolia. But I also I wanted to show you these little things. Oh, and I'm underneath the magnolia, and here's a magnolia leaf. So you all know what they stay green year round. They're really a nice tree. Lots of different things about them, but I didn't want to go into much detail. I wanted to show you these little in the little what do they call that little paper shell? It's called a it had a name. A calyx. So that's a calyx. These are golden berries, and they grow in this little calyx. They're actually a tropical, but they do grow. They're related. They're a nightshade family. They're related to tomatoes, tomatillas, eggplants, potatoes. That you can grow them in the temperate climate. They grow all over the world. They're originally from Peru, evidently. And matter of fact, their scientific name is Phaseolus peruviana. So also known as the Picchu berry, after Machu Picchu. Golden berry, some people call them ground berries. And it says here that they has antioxidant properties that can lower cholesterol and in the blood, and phytosteroids. Anyway, those antioxidants, and I'm not familiar with this other word, the phytosteroids. Evidently, those two compounds help make them lower cholesterol. But I'm not real familiar with these. I haven't ever grown them, but I picked up some the other day and been eating them. They're tasty, pretty good. Anyway, golden berry. Oh, I wanted to show you a little bit on the berries that came off of the magnolia berries, and I ate a few of them. They definitely have a unique flavor that they stick with you. Anyway, just a couple things I wanted to show you. I've been kind of learning about today. All right, let's take a look at paragraph 95. Insanity appears to add to reality, but no one would claim that what it adds is true. Insanity is therefore the non-extension of truth, which blocks joy because it blocks creation and thus blocks self-fulfillment. The unfulfilled must be depressed because their self-fullness is unknown to them. The unfulfilled must be depressed because their self-fullness is unknown to them. So if you're struggling with depression, keep that in mind. The unfulfilled, the result underneath depression is not being fulfilled because their self-fullness is unknown to them. Your creations are protected for you because the Holy Spirit who is in your mind knows of them and can bring them into your awareness whenever you will let Him. They are there as part of your own being because your fulfillment includes them. The creations of every son of God are yours, since every creation belongs to everyone, being created for the sonship as a whole. You have not failed to add to the inheritance of the sons of God, and thus have not failed to secure it for yourselves. If it was the will of God to give it to you, He gave it forever. If it was His will that you have it forever, He gave you the means for keeping it, and you have done so. Disobeying God's will is meaningful only to the insane. Wow. Think of all the years in the past that we thought that people were disobeying God. And here He's saying, disobeying God's will is meaningful only to the insane. So whether you feel like you're disobeying or you're seeing someone disobeying, the whole concept of disobeying God is meaningful only to the insane. In truth, it is impossible. Your self-fullness is as boundless as God's. Like His, it extends forever and in perfect peace. Its radiance is so intense that it creates in perfect joy, and only the whole can be born of its wholeness. 97. Be confident that you have never lost your identity and the extensions which maintain it in wholeness and peace. Miracles are an expression of this confidence. They are reflections both of your own proper identification with your brothers and of your own awareness that your identification is maintained by extension. The miracle is a lesson in total perception. By including any part of totality in the lesson, you have included the whole. You have said that when you write of the kingdom and your creations which belong in it, you are describing what you do not know. That is true in a sense, but no more true than your failure to acknowledge the whole result of the ego's premises. The kingdom is the result of premises, just as the world is. 95. You have carried the ego's reasoning to its logical conclusion, which is total confusion about everything. You've carried the ego's reasoning to its logical conclusion, which is total confusion about everything. Yet you do not really believe this, or you could not possibly maintain it. If you really saw this result, you could not want it. The only reason why you could possibly want any part of it is because you do not see the whole of it. You, therefore, are willing to look at the ego's premises, but not at their logical outcome. Is it not possible that you have done the same thing with the premises of God? 99. Your creations are the logical outcome of His premises. Your creations are the logical outcomes of God's premises. His thinking has established them for you. They are therefore there, exactly where they belong. They belong in your mind as part of your identification with His. But your state of mind and your recognition of what is in your mind depend at any given moment on what you believe about your mind. Whatever these beliefs may be, they are the premises which will determine what you accept into your mind. It is surely clear that you can both accept into your mind what is not really there and deny what is. Neither of these possibilities require further elaboration here, but both are clearly indefensible, even if you elect to defend them. And the last paragraph we'll read today, 100. Yet the function which God Himself gave your minds through His you may deny, but you cannot prevent. So you can deny it, but you can't prevent it. It is the logical outcome of what you are. The ability to see a logical outcome depends on the willingness to see it, but its truth has nothing to do with your willingness at all. Truth is God's will. Share His will, and you share what He knows. Deny His will as yours, and you're denying His kingdom and yours. The Holy Spirit will direct you only so as to avoid pain. Now there's something to keep in mind. Follow the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit will direct you only so as to avoid pain. You want to avoid pain? Well, then by all means listen to the one voice and follow it. The voice for peace, the voice for joy. The undoing of pain must obviously avoid pain. Surely no one would object to this goal if he recognized it. The problem is not whether what the Holy Spirit says is true, but whether you want to listen to what He says. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's see if we can eliminate pain in our lives by listening to the Holy Spirit, whose job is to lead us safely out of pain. All right, tomorrow we'll read the confusion of strength and weakness, section 11. Okay, let's go take a look at under all fear is past and only love is here, 293. Let's look at what is the real world. The real world is a symbol like the rest of what perception offers, yet it stands for what is opposite to what you made. Your world is seen through eyes of fear and brings the witnesses of terror to your mind. The real world cannot be perceived except through eyes forgiveness blesses. So they see a world where terror is impossible and witnesses to fear cannot be found. The real world holds a counterpart for each unhappy thought reflected in your world, a sure correction for the sights of fear and sounds of battle which your world contains. The real world shows a world seen differently, through quiet eyes, with a mind at peace. Nothing but rest is there. Nothing but rest is there. There are no cries of pain and sorrow heard, for nothing here remains outside forgiveness. And the sights are gentle. Only happy sights and sounds can reach the mind that has forgiven itself. What need has such a mind for thoughts of death, attack, and murder? What can it perceive surrounding it but safety, love, and joy? What is there it would choose to be condemned? And what is there it would judge against? The world it sees arises from a mind at peace within itself. No danger lurks in anything it sees, for it is kind, and only kindness does it look upon. The real world is the symbol that the dream of sin and guilt is over, and God's Son no longer sleeps. The real world is the symbol that the dream of sin and guilt is over, and God's Son no longer sleeps. His waking eyes perceive the sure reflection of his Father's love, the certain promise that he is redeemed. The real world signifies the end of time, for its perception makes time purposeless. The Holy Spirit has no need of time when it has served his purpose. Now he waits but that one instant more, for God to take his final step, and time has disappeared, taking perception with it as it goes, and leaving but the truth to be itself. That instant is our goal, for it contains the memory of God. And as we look upon a world forgiven, it is he who calls to us and comes to take us home, reminding us of our identity, which our forgiveness has restored to us. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at our Lesson 293, All Fear is Past and Only Love is Here. All fear is past. And how is fear past? Because we've learned that the only thing we need to bring into the present is the present. We can leave all of our past associations of pain and sorrow and sickness. We can leave them in the past where they can touch us not. We've learned to practice forgiveness, to see things through the eyes of Christ and see the beauty. Learn to feel the beauty. I didn't emphasize that as much as I wanted to yesterday, how important it is to feel beauty. Don't just see it with your mind. You have to see it with your mind, but you want to feel it. Remember when I told you the dream I had and how that I learned in this dream from my past wife? She said, feel the beauty in every person, place, thing, and situation. And if you can do that, you'll have left the world behind, and you'll be here with me. You'll be in this place of heaven on earth. Okay? So all fear is past, and only love is here. All fear is past because its source is gone, and all its thoughts gone with it. Love remains the only present state, whose source is here forever and forever. Can the world seem bright and clear and safe and welcoming, with all my past mistakes oppressing it and showing me distorted forms of pain? Yet in the present, love is obvious, and its effects apparent. All the world shines in reflection of its holy light, and I perceive a world forgiven at last. And the prayer for all fear is past and only love is here is, Father, let not your holy world escape my sight today, nor let my ears be deaf to all the hymns of gratitude the world is singing underneath the sounds of fear. There is a real world which the present holds safe from all past mistakes, and I would see only this world before my eyes today. So just don't look into the past. Stay in the present moment. Allow forgiveness to hold you there. And if you slip back in thinking about some transgression in yourself or others, grab onto forgiveness quickly. Let it be that it brings you back to the present moment, where you can say, all fear is past, and only love is here. All fear is past, and only love is here.